Hello, and welcome to Sestra-Tainment.
Sestra-Tainment.
I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today talking to you about everything entertainment.
Absolutely. But we're positive when we talk about our entertainment. We don't talk about a lot of like drama or anything.
No.
We try to stay out of that stuff.
Talk about things that didn't impress us.
Oh, yeah.
In regards to maybe it being seen as negative. Yeah. But we're not trying to be
because the Johnny Depp trial, I didn't even talk about that because there's so much going on.
Yeah, you just talked
about
the
lawyer who was the main person.
Did you hear this week she became partner?
Oh,
she became partner at the law firm. They were doing their circuit.
Congratulations, Camila Vasquez.
Exactly. After the case was over, they were actually on different morning shows and talking about just how the trial went, things of that nature.
Okay.
Interesting facts. Savannah Guthrie's husband is a consultant, and he did work for the trial.
Oh, wow.
So she had to disclose that before she could interview him and say, my husband has done work for them, but nothing in regards to this interview.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's crazy how, if you're a journalist, you have to, you can't just put it aside. You have to, literally be like, hey, this is what's happening. It's has nothing at all to do with me.
To do with you, yeah. But your integrity will come in question if you knew this and you didn't say anything, so you have to disclose. Yeah. Just as simple as them saying, this morning I saw they had some things that they were advertising with Amazon, and they were like, yeah, we have a partnership with Amazon, and we get a cut on the back end for everything you purchase. So they have to tell you that stuff too. So anyway, we kind of diverted, but it's all good because that's what we do.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we do.
That's how we do. So, sis, you're going first. So what do you have?
Okay, I want to talk about this show that I've been watching on Netflix. It's in its third season. It's called Love, Death, and Robots.
Never heard of it.
Okay, I'm really into it.
For being in its third season.
So what it is that it's a whole bunch of short films. So what I didn't know, and this is like I said on Netflix, they're 5-time Emmy-winning animated anthology series.
Huh.
Exactly.
Okay.
So like I said, it's a bunch of short films. They might range from 7 minutes to 21 minutes, maybe almost 30 minutes. They are really good. They touch on everything. It be science fiction, fantasy, comedy, horror, basically anything that somebody is into, they have a short about it. So that's what I kind of like. So it's created by Tim Miller and David Fincher. Tim Miller, you might know him because he actually worked on a lot of different movies and stuff like that we've seen before, like Deadpool, Terminator, Sonic. He did some visual effects for some video games. Some people might know, like Star Wars, the Mass Effect video games. He worked on those, and then he did some movies like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which I don't think you've ever seen.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that's a good movie. It's a good movie, but so they just collaborated and got people together. So what they did was they brought a whole bunch of different people together. So it's a team of directors and animated studios. They just got them to collab to bring out you this awesome work that is Love, Death, and Robots. I mean, the way it is so. All right, so one of the episodes that I looked at, I was watching it and I was like, wait, is this CGI? Oh, wait, is it a person or is it CGI? It was so close that I couldn't tell.
Wow. That's
how good that is.
Interesting.
But they do have some stuff that's cartoonish. They have some Pixar type movies. Then they have some that look like, the little video games that you play on your phone or something like that. Okay. But for the most part, it touches on all different genres when it comes to movies, TV shows, and stuff like that. But I really do like it a lot. It the CGI in it is amazing.
Okay.
Amazing. One of the ones that I really just got into was the last one. It was basically about the mythological thing of the siren, and it's the woman, the siren sings, and then it's supposed to bring the men in. Yes. Mm-hmm. So in one of them, the siren is singing. So you see all these men, and they are they're just going to like war, but they're like in the woods and stuff like that, like walking through, and they start to get to a river, and then you see this woman, and how they have the siren made up is not like she is a very beautiful creature, woman-ish thing, but everything on her is gold. She has like, I can't even explain it. It kind of reminds me of Xerxes from off of 300 when the guy like pulled him out and he had like gold and everything and chains, stuff like that. So it's very much like that, but then like the gold is like embedded in her skin. So as she's sitting there, she's like dancing. She's doing like kind of like ballerina dances while she's screaming, but one of the guys is dead. So he's just turning around and looking, and he's just like, what is happening? Yeah. And like now the guys are like, the people are now starting to kill each other and kill themselves, and like they're drowning in the water, and he's just looking around like, what's going on? And then so he starts to run. He turns around, sees her, runs. Then later on it comes that he sees her again, and she actually she finds him. He falls asleep in the woods. She finds him. He wakes up. She's cuddling him. And he's just like, what the heck is going on? Because apparently, I guess sirens want to be loved, but then it's like, we can't be.
I mean, they don't kill necessarily, but they
can't be because they're cursed.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So then what happens is that he gets up, and then like now he's trying to like fight her off, and now she's trying to like make love to him. And he's just like, what is going on? Right. And like, remember, he's deaf, so she's trying to sing to him, and like, he does like, nothing. And then she's like seducing him, and then he pulls a piece of gold from her and looks and was like, oh, this is coming straight from her skin. So now what's he do? He's going all into it, and like, he's playing pretend like
he cares.
Like he cares? No, he just bashes her head in.
Oh my gosh.
Well, not all the way in, but I mean, like, he headbutts her. And then takes all of the gold and everything off of her. Even her, like, the mask that's, like, right here over her eyes and her forehead and stuff like that. Takes that, has it in, like, this big cape bag thing that he just made. Holds it, takes it out, and then she ends up dying, going down. Well, not really dying, but he thinks she's dead. She's going down this river, and as she goes down the river, he, like, then starts to get sound. He can hear things, and now he's freaking out because he can hear things because
he's never heard before.
Yeah, so what ended up happening was that when she was trying to seduce him and he was trying to like be into it, he kissed her, and then she kissed him, and then it was like, I guess she bit him or something like that. So and then from there, I guess he's now is getting healed from her curse, which is now his curse. Because another siren comes and sings.
And now he can hear it.
And it goes insane. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. And that thing's like 15 minutes. All of that in 15 minutes. But no, everybody check it out. Love, Death, and Robots. So just like 3 seasons. It might be like maybe 15 episodes total that are out. But yeah, definitely check it out. It's really, really cool.
And what is it on?
It's on Netflix.
Got it. All right. Thank you. I am going to talk about Obi Wan Kenobi.
What?
Yes, Obi Wan Kenobi. Look. You're as just as surprised as I am. But let me go back and say, okay, I did watch The Mandalorian.
Okay, yeah.
So watching The Mandalorian, which led to Boba Fett, right? Okay. So I think I've only watched 1 or 2 episodes of Boba Fett. Not sure if I'm feeling it, right? Okay. So then I heard, Obi Wan Kenobi is coming out. And I was like, I liked Obi-Wan. We need you, or whatever Princess Leia said, you're our only hope. So and those things I remember literally from the original movie. From the original movie. I didn't need to see anything else. So therefore, I was like, Obi-Wan, I always liked that character of Obi Wan Kenobi. So I was like, all right, let me go ahead and check this out, right? So my friend Toby, shout out Toby, she had mentioned, hey, have you started watching Obi Wan Kenobi? And I was like, no, I haven't. She said, well, I think they dropped like 3 episodes at once or something like that, or did something that had, where you could watch maybe 2, something like that. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. So decided that I would go ahead and look at it, and I love it.
Really? Is this on Disney?
I love it. It's on Disney Plus.
Disney
Yeah.
Plus? Okay.
And so, basically,
wow, I would have never thought I would hear you say you liked anything Star Wars.
No, I do like Star Wars.
I mean, but
one,
I didn't know if you liked it like that though.
I've watched almost all of the Star Wars movies.
I mean, I've watched them all too.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna say I'm like a big fan of it. I think that just came.
I think the original ones that came out back when I was younger, those. You know, I watched some of them more than once. Yeah. But not like Ewoks and stuff like that. Like, that's not my thing. But then you had the Phantom Menace one and all that kind of stuff. I mean, they're fine. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't like the Ewoks. Okay. I guess it's certain ones that didn't speak to me as much as others, but like I don't get into it to the point of knowing, oh, this one was Empire Strikes Back. And
no, I'm not like that. You know, like I know a lot of people who are like that, but
I'm
not
like that with it. I'm just like, okay, I remember some scenes and some scenarios and things that happened. And Chewbacca did this, and R2-D2 did this, and you know that kind of stuff. But I'm not into it.
So you're not like a huge mega fan.
No, absolutely.
You're just you like the movies.
I'm a casual fan.
You're a casual fan.
I'm a casual fan. So what I will say about this show that I loved was that. Number one, I didn't know, did I have to watch Boba Fett in order for me to know what this one was about? Because all of them seem to fit together, right? So then I was like, oh, this is a post Darth Vader becoming Darth Vader movie.
Little Anakin Skywalker.
Yes, Anakin, right. Anakin becoming Darth Vader. And then, you know, what happened with Obi Wan after that? You know, like after he thought he had killed, you know, Anakin, so to speak, because he didn't even know, you know, all the stuff that transpired, you know. So what ends up happening is at the very beginning of this, what I loved is that they go through the whole story of Obi Wan Kenobi, of Anakin, of the two of them. Like, so
it's bridging the gap.
Exactly. Even if you hadn't really watched, you could watch that first 4 or 5 minutes and it kind of says, hey, this is when Samuel L. Jackson's character, along with Yoda, were talking to, you know, Obi Wan Kenobi or whoever, you know, like they just go through that whole thing and say, hey, Anakin is the next, you know, leader.
Yes, supreme leader.
Exactly. The person who is going to bring everything better and take down the Empire. And then you have where it shows that, you know, little Anakin, cute, and he's flying in the little, you know, whatever those, again, casual watcher.
Yeah. But they didn't like recast another Anakin, did they?
No. They went back and showed clips from the actual movie. So then you see the Phantom Menace, and you see all of that, and you see who Phantom Menace kills, and you see Obi-Wan killing Phantom Menace, and, you know, all this kind of stuff. So all that's going on, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. I do remember seeing that. I do remember Anakin growing up, fighting, falling into the fire. Him and Obi-Wan, which I didn't remember even Obi-Wan was the one who had done it, but, you know, I should have. But anyway, and so then they kind of like show Obi-Wan walking away with the assumption that because he fell into the fire, he had died. And then it shows where the Imperial people kind of came and took him and, you know, they were like, now you will be known as Darth Vader. You know, kind of thing. So anyway, in this show, what I love, and I won't tell too much because it's only like 4 or 5 episodes in, I think maybe 4. But what I loved is that it gave you all that history, and then they kind of immediately move you into a like serious action move right now in this show. So it's kids who are practicing doing their moves, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden, the ones in white, I can't even think of their names, Stormtroopers, yeah. See, this is what I'm saying, casual. Yeah. So the Stormtroopers come in and start shooting. And the poor woman is trying to save all these kids and using her lightsaber to kind of make sure that the bullets don't hit the kids and all this. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute. How did I get into this fight already? Yeah. You know, what's going on and why are they fighting? Well, come to find out, the Empire in this show is trying to kill all Jedis. And they're searching the universe for all Jedis as normal. That's what as normal. Yeah. And so the thing, though, is that you have the Grand Inquisitor, you have the 5th brother and the 3rd sister. So it's a thing. But anyway, I have no idea what that is. Okay. And they're trying to find all the Jedi, but the 3rd sister, who's known as Reva, is actually looking for Obi Wan Kenobi.
Inquisitor Reva.
Yeah, the Inquisitor. Yeah. So they could care less about She could care less about anybody else. She wants Obi Wan Kenobi. Period. Point blank. Done.
Okay.
So the whole show is about how she even has drama with her Grand Inquisitor and her fifth brother, as they call themselves on here. Don't ask me why. They look very weird in their costumes and all of that kind of stuff. But anyway, because they're like, look, you're putting all of this at risk for trying to go after one person when we just need to catch the ones that come across our path. You know what I mean? And she's just very hot-headed, so to speak. But it has an amazing cast. So, of course, Ian McGregor is playing Obi Wan Kenobi. You have Moses Ingram, who's playing Reva, the third sister. You have Rupert Friend, who's playing the Inquisitor, which I didn't even know that was him. Like, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, Rupert, I love Rupert. I remember him from Homeland. He was Quinn. Yeah. So I was like, oh, Quinn from Homeland is in here. I would have never known that was him underneath that.
Oh, wow, really? Okay.
Yeah, that costume. Okay. Sung Kang is the fifth brother. You have Adira Varma. She's playing in here as Tala. She's already been showing on the show.
Okay.
She is, remember from Game of Thrones, those sisters, those really pretty dark-haired sisters, and they would like kiss you, and then you would end up like almost dying because the lipstick that they put on.
Oh yeah, from the sand place.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The sand dunes or sand, whatever they were called. Anyway, so she was one of those sisters on there.
Because there was their father. Was it their father?
Yep, she's been in a lot
of things. Their uncle or something like that got killed by the mountain, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yep. Yeah, their brother, I think, or something.
No, I think
it was somebody. Yeah, I can't remember.
Anyway, it was their father.
No, because he wasn't that old to be their father. Maybe. Anyway, she was Luther's wife on the show Luther, ex-wife, because they got a divorce. So anyway, so she's been in a lot of things. So she's a great actress. She's on there. She's helping out Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay. You also have Kumail Nanjiani. So he is the guy from The Big Sick.
Yeah.
So
because then he definitely lost a bunch of weight to do the Eternals?
The Eternals, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
and then shredded up.
Yep, exactly. So he's in there, but he is a fake Jedi.
Oh.
So he's in there, and he's
he
like
funny?
Pushing buttons. Yeah, so it's kind of hilarious. Obi-Wan, they were like, "Let's take you to a Jedi," and he's like, "Oh, there's another one here." Like, where? And then he gets there, and he's like, "Is this dude really talking to somebody in a mic and pushing buttons and doing things?" But funny enough, he did actually help him. So there's that. And then you even have. Let me tell you this. So you have. A lot of special appearances, a lot of special guests. So you have Flea.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I love him.
O'Shea Jackson.
Yeah, no, you got.
So you have him, who is Ice Cube's son, who was in Straight Outta Compton. You have Maya. I think it's Erskine is how she says her last name, but she is the one from Pen 15 with the two girls.
Oh, yeah,
one with the dark hair. So she's in there. Jimmy Schmitz, he's in there.
Jimmy Schmidt?
Because
where has he been?
Because in the old movies, he took Leia. He raised Leia as his daughter.
Oh,
so he's in here because, funny enough, this is when Leia is still a little girl.
Yeah,
so this is before they grow up and Luke, I am your father, kind of stuff. So anyway, that whole piece. Now let me tell you what blew my everlasting mind.
What's that?
James Earl.
Yes, how's he still doing this stuff?
James Earl Jones is still Darth Vader. Like 30 years later, 40 years later.
That's the best gig ever.
Oh.
It's like, hey man, look, I'm doing this movie. It's so different. I just want you to do the voice because you have an iconic voice. And he's just like, yeah, no problem, I'll do it. And then 30 years later, he's still doing the voice and getting paid for it.
I know. God. I had no idea James Earl Jones's voice would still be in here. So I'm watching it. And then they show Darth Vader like going through something, like, looking for Obi-Wan. He's right up on him almost. Yeah. He's searching and he starts talking. And I'm like, that's James Earl Jones saying whole new things that he never said in any of the previous movies. And I'm like, is James Earl Jones still voicing this?
He's 91.
I immediately Googled and was like, Yes. I mean, like that, it was just amazing.
Oh, yeah,
it was the best find ever. So, anyway, so I have been in love. I mean, and it's good because what it is just like these inquisitors are just going around like planet to planet, universe to universe, looking for, and then you'll find them finding and looking for other Jedis too. And then it still gives you that whole piece of how even these people who are on the dark side, they're Jedis. Who turned, and just said the force is strong, but the force for good is strong, and the force for evil is strong, and it's kind of like the world, and
absolutely,
you know what I mean. So even something that was made so long ago, is just so relevant
today,
all the time, and today, right? That it's like, you can have a lot of abundance and do good with it, or you can have a lot of abundance and do some
bad,
pretty shady stuff with it. So anyway, I have just been really enjoying it. The little girl who plays Leia.
I've seen her on something else before. I don't know what it's been, what she was on before, but I think she is a good little actress.
She is amazing. I love her so much, and she gets you to really feel her emotions. Like one of her little robots.
She was the girl on Bird Box.
Oh, Bird Box, little girl. Okay, got it. With Sandra Bullock. And so, but like her little robot, kind of falls apart or gets crashed or whatever, and you just feel her little tiny emotions about it and stuff like that. And then they ended up putting it back together, but still. So anyway, but it's so good. I am so enthralled in it right now. So that's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start watching that.
Obi Wan Kenobi.
I'm gonna start watching that.
Yeah, you will like it. And I binged it. Like when I saw that there were 3, I couldn't stop. Going to the next one, and then I was upset that I had to wait for 4. So I just watched 4 last night, and so I'll be ready for the next one. Okay, all right. What do you have?
All right, so I have this Prime movie. It's a little Prime like college kid type movie. It's called Emergency. It's supposed to be a comedy, but it gets dark towards the end. Oh boy. So what the story is, it's like there's 3 college kids, they're all dorm room, like roommates, but I don't think it's a dorm room. I think it's like I don't know, it kind of look like maybe a house or like a condo type thing. Okay. Anyway, but it's 3 kids. It's their senior year. Mm-hmm. One of them, his name is Sean. He's played by R.J. Seiler. I haven't really seen him on much stuff, but I've seen his face before. So people might recognize him if you want to look him up. He's a very smart kid. Had a very hard, rough life, made it out the hood, got into college, but he only applies himself if he has to.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll be like his friends, like, dude, work on your thesis. He was like, look, I got it in the bag. Don't worry about that. Oh, wow. But I know he's going to kill his thesis. But the thing is that, he's just kind of like, I know what I'm doing, but I just don't really want to do it right now. Yeah. Then his friend Kunle is his other roommate. He's played by Donald Elise Watkins, which I haven't seen him on anything before, but I'm pretty sure like all these actors are like younger actors that you've probably seen them on something before, but they didn't have any prominent roles. Okay. So he's very smart. He comes from a family that's like from Africa. And he's doing his best to like make his family happy and to be able to, learn how to do. I think he's going to be like a biochemist or something like that. Okay. And but it's something that he loves. He just loves bacteria. So that's his thing. Because he's trying to learn how to, I guess help like cure some different diseases and stuff like that. Okay. All right. Then there's another guy named Carlos. He's played by Sebastian Chacon. He's a video gamer pothead. You don't get that much from him. That's about all you get. Okay. You like he's not really he's that roommate that's there that you like did he go to class? Oh, I don't know. Gosh, like how why is he still like wait, hold on. Like there's 17 cans of Monster and Red Bull all around. Yeah. And like he's over here smoking weed and playing video games, but I don't see a book in sight. Wow. So he's just one of those kids that's kind of just like pops up. It's kind of like on Half Baked, the guy who's on the couch.
I never watched.
Never watched Half Baked? Okay, no. Never mind. Okay. But, so the thing is that, what happens is Kunle is trying to work on his thesis. His thesis is all about bacteria. So now he's in the lab and he's, the professor is even like, hey, you're in the lab, lock up. Make sure you lock up everything. Put your stuff in the refrigerator. We're supposed to be, make sure you turn the lights off and everything.
Yeah.
His friend Sean's just like, yo, bro, come on, we gotta go. Doing this legendary party tour. And all that it is like hitting a bunch of different frat parties in one night. And when I say a bunch of different frat parties, I mean every frat that you can think of. And this is like the geeky frat. This is the preppy boy frat.
Yeah.
This is like the girly girl frat. This is the gay frat. Like all of them. Like they have to hit each and every one of them in order to be on this wall of the legendary tour. Whereas they could be they could be the two. Oh, how did he say it? He's like, we can be the first two guys who went through it together and have our picture up together on this wall, blah, blah, blah. Because it's a predominantly white school.
Okay.
So, what happens is that Sean's like, come on, man, let's go. Kunle's like, hey, man, look, all right, let me finish with this, and I'm coming. And then Sean's like rushing him. Kunle forgets to put his sample back into the refrigerator. So now he's thinking it's dying. He's like, oh my God, what did I do? Like, I messed it up. So now he's left the lab and everything. They get to their room, their house, and when they go to the door, and they're like, wait, did Carlos forget to lock the door and the door's open again? Oh man. So then they go inside and they're like, yo, Carlos, and they look and there's a girl on the floor passed out.
Oh wow.
And she has on like boxes for clothes.
Interesting.
And they're just like, what do we do?
Yeah.
So then they go and get their roommate. Their roommate's playing video games, smoking weed, drinking Monster. In this room, knows nothing about it. So now the thing is, what do we do? Do we call 911 when we are two black guys and a Hispanic man with this white girl?
Dead on the floor.
Not dead, but she was passed out on the floor.
Passed out on the floor, yeah.
Or do we just go ahead and try to take her to the hospital? Like, should we just pretend we didn't see her? And then Kunle's like, dude, she can die. We can't do that.
Right.
And then they're like, okay, so they got the idea to take her to the hospital. So now it is the whole story of them taking this girl to the hospital and trying to figure out what was going on with her. It's funny. It's sad at the same time. But then it gets to like a police situation where it gets very dark. Yeah, so that's just one thing. But then I do like the way that it ends.
Okay.
So I think that it's hilarious how this is like the reality of like what college kids do.
Yeah.
And then they don't, like, they're not taking responsibility for, like, anything. Like, you just broke into somebody's, like, house.
Right, exactly. Yep, not even thought twice.
Yeah. And then, like, the things that could have happened and how it could have, like, ended up bad for the guys, they could have all gotten, like, killed or whatever if it was a situation where she just came to and then she just sees these three guys around her and she barely has any clothes on. So it's crazy, but it's realistic. It's funny. It's more funny parts than dark parts and stuff like that. So I would definitely say check it out.
Okay.
Something funny, cute to look at. But definitely it does have like a happy ending. Well, happy-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's it called again?
It's called Emergency, and it is on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. All right.
Yeah. So what you got next?
All right. So I have Big Sky.
Oh wait, Big Sky.
Big Sky, ABC.
Okay. Yeah. I remember that one. Yeah.
So I started watching it. It's actually kind of created by David Kelly, the same person who did Big Little Lies as a show. And so basically it's about two female like private detectives and just them trying to figure out what happened to a missing person, basically. And everything else ensues from there. So it's really an interesting play. So you have the actresses are, and I didn't really know either of these before, so I don't know if they've been in a lot of different things, but Kylie Bunbury is Cassie, in this show. And then Catherine Winnick is Jenny. So Jenny Hoyt and Cassie Dewell. And then you have actually someone who it's a transgender character in here that's their admin assistant.
Yeah.
And she, they are very, they just make sure that this person is transgender, because at one point this person is kidnapped, and then you see what their situation is as they are a kidnapped person.
Okay.
It actually almost starts off that way, where this character Jerry was kidnapped, and then you have a lot of different people, but Ryan Phillippe was kind of the main name that everybody knew about for that particular show was that. But then I was surprised because their other admin assistant person is Dee Dee Pfeiffer, Michelle Pfeiffer's sister.
Oh,
Had no idea Michelle Pfeiffer's sister was an actress, but
Me either.
she's in this show called Big Sky as their kind of admin person, and she always has something fun and quirky and things like that to do. But basically, so the show kind of starts where one of the folks in the show, their son's girlfriend goes missing. And you're like, what in the world? Like, they were supposed to meet. They didn't meet. Why did she go missing? What happened? She was in a car with another friend. And as they're riding down this road, this tractor trailer is just like riding on their bumper. And it was like a little bit of road rage thing going on between the two. And then the girls started getting really scared, really nervous. And they start speeding, start trying to turn down different paths and go different ways and wait and do this and do that. They cannot get away from this guy. Like, that's when they scary. Think they're free, all of a sudden, here he shows up again. So, lo and behold, somehow they ended up stopped, and he comes up behind them when they thought that he was gone. Mm-hmm. And he comes up behind them, gets out, smashes the window, and takes both of these women.
Oh, snap.
And so, basically, next thing you start seeing is that he has them, and they're tied up, and they're in the back of his rig, and there's then you have the transgender person who's back there too, Jerry.
Yeah.
And so all of these women he's just got, and he's like, you don't know what he's going to do, and you're assuming that he's going to sex traffic them, because guess what? It's called Big Sky because you're in Montana.
Yeah.
There's nothing out there.
There's nothing. It's mountains and trees and lakes.
Exactly. So they make it seem like areas of Montana and places like that are like a free-for-all. Like, it's just like whatever you want to do. There's not enough cops. There's too much land and not enough space, enough people
it's like govern
to
yourself.
know what's going on out there. So basically, the beginning of the show starts with Ryan Phillippe kind of going and starting to look for these women first. And he comes upon a sheriff and, is kind of talking to the sheriff and trying to figure out, okay, like, what's going on? How can I go about, finding out where these women are. Yeah. And the sheriff is played by John Carroll Lynch. He's in a lot of the American Horror Stories. He plays Twisty, I think is his name, Twisty the Clown, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
But so very interesting character that he plays on those horror stories. But even in here, he's not on the up and up. Let's just put it that way, as a sheriff.
Okay.
And so Ryan Phillippe starts picking up on what he was putting down, And so based on that, I won't even go into what happens. But for the most part, all of a sudden the female detectives are like, we got to find multiple people now. We got to figure out what's going on with all these people and what's taking place. And so they just start on this path, and they go see the same sheriff, and they try to find this rig, and the guy's changing the color of the rig, and the guy who owns the rig, he actually is played by Brian, I think it's Garaffi. He plays Ronald Pergman. Okay. And Ronald, he is, let's just say, a person whose mother probably berates him so much that he takes it out on other women.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know
Norman
what I mean?
Bates.
Yeah, like a Norman Bates. Exactly. Well, Norman Bates was a little bit different, but sort of, kind of. Yeah, exactly. So, but it's more of that, like he could do no right. Everything he did was like terrible, and he's wrong, and he's disgusting, and he's, can you be cleaner? You're just too filthy, whatever, like all this kind of stuff.
That's horrible growing up.
And like so based on that, that's kind of appears as though what sent him over the edge to make him, go out and try to find all these women. So anyway, the story kind of just folds from there. So it's in gosh, what season are we in? Season 2. They finished season 2. And basically, the end of season 1, some things transpire that build up to you being kind of anticipating what could happen in season 2. They left you with some good cliffhangers for season 1 for you to be like, oh, well, if that happened and this happened. It was almost too like they wrote it that if it didn't get renewed or picked up, you would have been okay. But at the same time, it was like, you know, it was enough that happened where somebody got away and this happened and that happened where you were like, okay, I hope they do a season 2 so that I can check this out. I enjoy the show. I'm not saying it's must-watch TV that every time a new episode drops, I watch it. But it's one of those things that now I'm invested.
Yeah.
And so
now you got to see it through.
Yeah, I want to see it through, though. It's not even that I have to. It's like I want to. Like The Walking Dead right now, I almost feel like I have to see it through.
Jealousy,
I don't even know. I don't even care. They're probably going to kill a whole bunch of people off on that show before it's over. But at the same time, it's like, but I want to see it through. Whereas, you know, I guess with this, I want to see it through versus feeling like I have to, but it's really good. I mean, I enjoy the actors. They flip the script quite a bit in season 2 and make it a very different feel and vibe to season 2 than what you had in season 1. But everybody, you know, if it's something that you want to check out, that's, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's almost like, I guess if you think of like a scary,
it's like suspenseful, suspenseful.
A suspenseful drama that kind of keeps you on your edge, and you're always like, go to the left, or get out of the way, or do this, or do that, or no, don't leave him by himself, or whatever. You're always like feeling that way. You might not necessarily be talking to the TV, but really just. You can see something coming before it's coming, and you're just hoping that doesn't happen. And sometimes it happens, and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. And then and there's a few jump moments and things like that too in it.
So it's a suspenseful northern exposure.
Yeah, Northern Exposure.
Northern Exposure, that.
Yeah, potentially.
Because it's kind of like a little small town kind of feel.
Alaska, I guess. I think. Yeah, but anyway, that's what I have. A lot of great actors kind of show up in it as well that have been in things that you have recognized previously also. So just to kind of put that out there. And the second season also has a whole lot of twists in regards to other children and them seeing something happen, because it's not only about sex trade stuff happening, but drug trade. And how many drugs go through the north to get into Canada, for example, as opposed to trying to come through the south and Mexico and everything. So it's got a lot of different elements and layers and directions that it goes. So, But that's it. Big Sky on ABC. You can watch the replaying of it either on Hulu. Mm-hmm. Well, mainly it's on Hulu. Because I think ABC doesn't have its own,
their app, they don't
have
their own
like
app.
a
I don't know.
Peacock or something like that.
I never pay attention.
They're kind of by themselves, or they have a very good relationship with Hulu that they just utilize Hulu for their replays. So,
I feel like everybody utilizes Hulu.
A lot of people do, but then even if they have something of their own, you know what I mean? Even NBC shows will be on Peacock and Hulu. So you just never know where it's gonna end up there. But that's what I have. Big Sky.
All right. So for my last topic, I want to talk about the funny comedian Joe Coy.
Who?
Joe Coy.
Oh, I have heard his name. Yep.
Okay. I think Joe Coy is hilarious.
Okay. I guess I'll have to watch a little bit of his comedy to see if I
So this is the reason why he makes fun of himself, as a defense mechanism, so nobody else makes fun of him.
Okay.
But the stuff that he talks about is it hits home. Okay. He talks about when his mother, his Filipino mother, gives him food to take to school the next day. It's in a Cool Whip container.
Oh, of course.
Not Tupperware.
Yeah.
So all the kids that's around him hey man, your mom lets you eat Cool Whip. He's like, no. Then he opens it up, and then it's
a whole Filipino meal.
It's a whole Filipino meal. He's and the stink just goes all through the school, So it's something it's like that. It's the jokes that he talks about, his father picking on him when he was younger. He was like, hey, you know why I married your mother, right? He's like, no, why, Dad? He's like, because I like Chinese food. And he's like, but Dad, we're Filipino. He said, I don't care. Same rice.
Oh my god.
But no, he said, but like his father would just like to joke with him and stuff like that, you know. And then now Joe Coy has a son, so now he does the same thing with his son.
Oh,
so like he jokes with his son and stuff like that a lot. So I mean, like it's just I like how he brings in. He reminds me like Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. He brings in parts of his life and then just puts it out there. Mm-hmm. It's not like it's like, you know, some comedians will like build up a story and it will be something that may have happened or it could be just talking about anybody, but no, everything he's talking about is himself. Mm-hmm. So that is what I do like about him, is that he does do that. He talks about himself. Like, so just want to give you a little insight on him. Okay. So he's 51 years old. Doesn't look like it at all. He's, you know, like he looks young.
Yeah, I don't think from what I remember of what he looks like. I don't think so either.
So he is a comedian. He dates Chelsea Handler. I think they've been dating for like. I did not know that. Yeah. They do the little social media stuff together.
50.
Since she left Curtis.
I still can't believe her and 50 Cent were together. Like that just doesn't.
See, I don't know if they really dated or if they were just sleeping together. I think there's a difference.
I guess, but there's a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, but then also like if you ever like heard anything about Chelsea Handler talking about her growing up, like she grew up but like in the hood.
Okay.
So like she was the white girl that hung out with all the black guys. Oh, okay. That was Chelsea Handler. Yeah. So
I don't like comedians, so I don't really know much about her. Yeah.
Well, I don't think Chelsea Handler is like the funniest, but I think she has some funny moments.
Okay.
But yeah, so he dates Chelsea Handler. He has 4 Netflix specials.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, and each one of them are hilarious.
All right.
So funny. Talking about. He mainly talks about his mom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But it's so funny, and then like his name is Joseph, and then he uses his mom's like thick accent. He's like Joseph. With a P. Yeah, and it's cute, and I'm pretty sure his mom is probably just like, look, I don't care how much you talk about me. Yeah, just make sure, like, my house is paid off. That's good. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Little did she know, his whole life she was creating.
She was creating, such a great comedian.
Yeah.
So you know, he talks about his father being white. He talks a lot about that. He talks about growing up. Well, like not growing up, but raising his son. And how his son is like going through puberty, and how he's like has to buy him a big bottle of Head and Shoulders for him to take showers with, because it'll take a 30-minute shower, but his hair's still wet. But he goes through the Head and Shoulders, so it's like that kind of funny thing like that. He talks about how he asked somebody in the audience. He was just like, "Hey, like, you know, like who here is like Filipino?" And it's like, "Okay," and it's like, "Okay, like tell me about your background." It's like, "Yeah, my father is white," and he's just like, "Okay, got it. He was in the military." And then everybody in the audience is like, "Oh," he was like, "Wait, hold on, wait a second, let's ask her." Mm-hmm. He goes to her and he was just like, "So please tell me, was your father in the military?" And she says, "The Navy." And then that whole crowd like goes crazy, because that's what happened. Joe Coy, his father was in the military and then met his mother. But then that was the thing that happened like back then when it was like the Vietnam War and everything.
Yeah.
It was that you go somewhere and then you fall in love.
Connection, yeah.
And then you bring them back.
90-day fiance.
Yeah, it's probably like well, it depends on how long you're at war, but yeah. But
but once you come back and bring them back, 90 days.
Well, see, I don't even know how it was back then.
I don't
bringing
know how
somebody
it was
back
then either.
I feel like they're probably just like, yeah, that's just fun. It's gonna be your property, because women were property back then.
Oh Lord, not that much. I mean, not to that degree. It was more that women just had to obey.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, but yeah. But he talks about his relationship with his son's mother, and he's just like, I give her whatever she wants, and everybody in the audience is kind of like, okay, that's kind of cool. He was like, no, I saw my son's head come out of her. He's like, she gets to have whatever she wants. He was like, I can't believe I did that to her. I'm such a horrible human being, but my son is a beautiful human being and everything. And then they talk about how he talks about how his son looks like he's mixed.
Okay.
So his son going around telling everybody that he's black.
Okay.
He's black and Filipino, because his son has a big fro.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's just darker than Joe, because I think his mother also is Filipino. So then he just has that darker skin tone, and then like the really thick curly hair. Yeah. So he's like, my son, he has like this beautiful fro, and I love it. He's like, man, it's amazing. He's like, but I just don't have the heart to tell him that it's gonna go away.
It's not gonna last forever.
It's not gonna last.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's
not gonna look like Bruno Mars when he gets older and have a nice fro like he has with Silk Sonic. Okay.
No, he's not gonna have that. No. He might have to go ahead and do like Anderson .Paak and put a wig on. But he jokes around a lot, like I said, about himself as kind of like a defense mechanism. So and then that way, nobody ever has anything. He probably started doing that young. Mm-hmm. So then that way, nobody ever has anything like to say about you, because you've already said it about yourself. Okay. I feel like he's that type of person. But yeah, he's hilarious. I love him. Like he's gonna be here in Richmond.
Oh,
on the 12th. No, I'm not.
Oh, no. Why do you say that so fast?
No, because the tickets are like expensive, like really expensive. But he's only here for one day though, because it's Richmond. He's pop in, pop out.
I mean, is he at like the Funny Bone, or is
he's at the Altria
Landmark? Oh, okay, yeah, the Altria Theater. Okay, got it.
Yeah, but no, but yeah, he's gonna be here for one day. And then dipping out, but I didn't know that he was going to be here for one day until I just saw it today.
Oh, when you were
when I was doing some research that he was going to be here for a day, and I was just like, well.
Oh yeah, what is that? That's like 2 days away.
Sunday.
12th?
It's Sunday.
Wow.
Okay. Sunday. Yeah. Exactly. So but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure if I knew about it before, I would definitely, bought the tickets to go see him, because he's funny.
Yeah.
But, just today. So.
Gotcha.
Right. But that was it. Cool. But yeah, Joe Coy, check him out. He's all over Netflix. He has a lot of stuff on Comedy Central. He's done stuff with, was it the late night, Chelsea Handler show? Mm-hmm. He's pretty much everywhere. I think he has something on like the entertainment channel or something like that. He like fills in spots and like does like says a little something and then like goes away or whatever. So like he's all over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. So I am going to talk about something that I just found out about today, and I thought it was interesting. So I said, you know what? Maybe I'll bring this topic up and people can kind of ponder this for themselves. Okay?
All right.
So this is going to be even a show that I don't even watch, but it's The Real Housewives of New York and Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Okay.
Okay? So the scenario is Teresa Giudice, or Giudice, depending on how people want to pronounce it. It started off as Giudice and at some point changed to Giudice.
Yeah, because it's like the way that all of America says it, and then the way that it's actually supposed to be said.
I guess it's the way that it's said in
the
Italy
Italian,
or something
the
like
Italian
that.
way,
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. So Teresa is getting remarried. So if everybody remembers, Teresa and her ex-husband Joe both had to spend a little time in prison. In regards to some money stuff and tax and all of that kind of stuff. So she spent a shorter stint in prison. He spent a longer stint. They didn't do it together because they did have 4 daughters to raise. And so therefore she went first, did hers, and then the husband went. I think he might have had like 2 years.
Yeah, I think. Why do I know about this? I don't even watch the Housewives. How do I know about this?
You, like shaking your head, like, oh,
like because I remember like the daughters are like little thugs. They just like like they want to. They're just like their little mothers. Like
they're hilarious. Okay. Like the other daughters are a trip. So anyway, so what happened is that Joe, when he got out of prison, because he is Italian and now he's a convicted felon or whatever, he had to get deported. So he's been deported, and he was living like in Sicily and all these other places, like, back in Italy. So, and he probably still is. I didn't really, look into anything with that. But anyway, well, now Teresa is in love again.
Is she divorced from the Italian dude?
Yeah. I mean, that's been years. So, yeah.
No, I mean, I didn't know if they had divorced or if it was just kind of like, well, you're in Italy and I'm in America, so.
No. They definitely got their divorce and all of that.
Okay.
And so, based on that, now she's with a new gentleman, Louis, as they call him, Louis. And so, they are getting married, right?
Right, awesome.
So, what she decides to do is she sends out the most, from what I understand, beautiful arrangement for the wedding, right? So it's a box that you open and it's full of flowers and it's the invite to their wedding. The date, the time, the location, exactly. The date, the time, the location. If you can't come, what the password is for the, like website to be able to view, and all of the specifics of the wedding. All right. So people love it. They're like, this is the most extravagant thing I have ever seen in my entire life. Well, Teresa is part of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Ramona Singer is the Real Housewives of New York, right?
Wait, hold on. Is somebody named Jill Zarin or something like that?
Jill Zarin.
Yeah. Which one is she on?
She used to be on New York, but she hasn't been on there in years.
Okay.
Her and Bethany now has Skinny Girl, or had Skinny Girl, sold it, is a billionaire, whatever the case may be.
I'm trying to piece together.
See, you're remembering.
I remember bits and pieces of each and every housewife.
Yeah. And a lot of times what these housewives do, it's just a foot in the door to popularity.
Oh, that's
so that you can be influencer and gain notoriety and, Instagram.
But then I feel like a
that.
lot of these people have like money issues as well that are on here. And I feel like that's why they went ahead and did the show, so then that way they can get money coming in. Because is there a Real Housewives like season or state or whatever that does not have people who are in like financial straits?
I don't keep up with the shows anymore.
I don't think there is. I feel like everybody's going to jail. Everybody's doing tax evasion. Everybody's broke.
Let me just say this. I think that what ends up happening is when you put your life on display, you end up going to jail and you end up getting broke.
Okay, yeah. There you go. Okay, got it. So
everybody didn't start the show
straighten up and fly right if you're going to be on TV.
They didn't start the show with financial situations. Okay. But during the show, when you're flaunting your money and you're showing everything, like Erica Jane, right? And her husband, who is the attorney. Okay. So he's got a private jet and they're spending money and she's $30,000 on this and whatever on that and whatever. And then it comes out that, wait, he's a guy who, I think it was the Lion Air airplane that fell out the sky. And all those people, he did the class action lawsuit against them, but the people never got the money. Oh. Where'd the money go?
And then they're spending all this money, so it's like, did you get the money?
He ends up getting in trouble. Now they're going through a divorce or already did it because of the fact that she's like, I didn't know anything about what he was doing and how he was doing it and what for and all that. So therefore, it's not me, it's him. But then, it's like, but he paid for her entire career.
And then also, but then also it's like you're married. You live in the same house.
Right.
You're always around each other.
But then it became a part of that season only because I saw commercials, watching something else. Did she really know? No. Did she not know? Like, is she, being protected so that she doesn't have to tune
okay. So it's just a lot. It's just a lot.
But I truly believe that it's one of those things that people can have a business. Mm-hmm. It looks so legit on the front end. I mean, obviously they vet these people before they put them on a show. But anyway, and so then you get on the show and then they realize the more you talk, the more you show of your life, the more you do, the more people start digging into you and find out, wait a minute, like there's another lady, can't remember what franchise, can't remember her name. But she ended up getting in trouble because she was basically like, what was that movie where the lady was taking money from all the old people?
Oh, yeah. I never watched that movie.
Yeah, but
I feel like it was going to make me mad, so I never watched it. Yeah. I know
this is what this lady was basically doing, something to that degree. And because of that, now she's going to prison or has already gone or something like that.
She should
go
to prison.
Through law situations. But
it's just,
so I say that to say the legal and financial issues typically come up because
when you're under a magnifying glass.
You're under a magnifying glass. People are hearing that you built this huge mansion, but your husband is saying every year he's got a loss for his business. Yeah. How is that possible? Mm-hmm. That you're spending all this money to bring over Italian marble, but yet y'all aren't making any money with your business. So something's not adding up. So anyway, back to the original story. So you have these beautiful event things that, like the invite to the wedding, right? You open this gorgeous box and it's just amazing. And then one of the housewives, Ramona in New York, decides, you know what? This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I got Instagram about it. I have to talk about this. she decides that she's going to do a live or video or whatever. And she's like, this is the most amazing. Look how beautiful this is. Shows the entire box. Shows the address. Shows the passwords. Shows everything. That this
she's shady. She is shady. She is a whole weeping willow with that shade. Oh my God.
And everybody immediately is
I know TMZ was probably going crazy.
Oh my God, you are showing everything about this woman's wedding. So Teresa has to call Ramona and say, take that down immediately. And she's like, what did I do?
It's too late.
She didn't even know what she had done.
No, she knew.
Well, that's the question.
She knew.
She know?
She knew.
Did she know or did she not? Now, let me give you a little bit about Ramona. Well, I can't even give you a lot about Ramona because I don't follow the shows as much. But when I did, when Jill Zarin and Bethany and all of them were on there, and the Countess, remember the Countess Luann, and Money Can't Buy You Class. You know? So anyway, but with all of that, Ramona always just seemed like a deer in the headlight kind of person.
So like she was not.
I'm not going to say anything negative and derogatory. I'm just going to say her eyes are always big. She's always looking like, what? What did I miss? What did y'all say? Like, it's that kind of thing. Okay. So I see where people, and a lot of people are like, they're not saying it, but they're just like, did she do it on purpose? And people are like, no, I don't think that she did. It's Ramona.
Yes, okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
So it's almost like people are like, y'all know Ramona.
Yeah, she doesn't think before she does.
Of the consequences of her actions before she does something, before she says something. And then she's like, well, I'll apologize. Like, I didn't know. I didn't think that I was going to bother anybody, And it's like a genuine cluelessness.
Okay.
So to speak.
So then, I guess she's not shady then.
Yeah,
unless she's acting.
Unless she's brilliantly shady. But that was my whole point of bringing up this topic because it just recently happened. And so the question kind of was, what do you do when someone who you consider a friend, I mean, you're inviting them to your wedding, number one. Yeah. So, I mean, you consider this person to be your friend, and yet they put on display for the world everything about your wedding. So now, do you have to find a new venue?
Oh, man.
And it's probably not too far away. You know what I mean? Do you have to send out now new things, even though you just sent this expensive and amazing arrangement to everybody?
Yeah.
I was listening to Lonnie Love. She actually was invited to the wedding, and she said that Teresa did send out an email to everybody and said kind of, hey, look, just want to let you know, something new is going to be sent to you in regards to what we are doing to make arrangements now for the wedding because somebody, they didn't put her name out there, but somebody, leaked the information. Please don't be fooled by these fake sites now that people are creating to say, this is where the wedding's going to be. This is what you're going to. So now because of the fact that people know what she's trying to do, the day she's trying to do it, that all these people are doing pop-up fake things. And then a lot of people are actually selling tickets to the event to go to the original location that was posted on Instagram. So there's people who are going to show up there no matter what. So if she still continues to have the wedding there and is trying to throw people off by saying that you'll get new things, she did also say that she's going to have a ton of security now. Like, it's just going to be
she's going to have to,
Yeah. And I would think if I were her and that was the venue where I wanted to have my wedding, I would say this, look, I don't care what I have to do. Like, the president is coming through town and I got to close off streets. You know what I mean? Yeah. But whatever I would have to do, whatever ordinances and agreements and anything I would have to do, I would probably go ahead and do that. And then say, okay, for a 3-block radius of this venue, you have to show your invitation.
That's so hard, though.
In order for you to gain access into this location.
That's a lot.
I mean, I get it. But, I mean, otherwise you're going to have, like you said, TMZ, paparazzi, regular random Real Housewives.
I mean, if it's somewhere like a winery or something like that, where it's off away from a lot of people, that would work. But if it's something where it's just it's just this beautiful place that's in the middle of Harlem, and they're, that's where they're getting married at or something like that. Yeah.
I can't imagine Teresa doing anything small.
Yeah.
So I think it has to be a huge venue. And when I think of all the housewives that she probably has to invite, and the Andy Cohens of the world, and, Alani Love is invited. All these different people. Yeah. It has to probably be a guest list of 500 people. Or
Yeah, and then also like
So-
when you become a celebrity like that, how many people do you have to invite to your wedding that you don't even like? But because it's like networking and like kind of a
politics
business
of it
transaction,
all.
you have to invite them. Psh, that's too much.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know about that, but
Yeah, but
all
I'm
I
saying
can
that's a
say is that I feel as though the old Teresa,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of people who don't even watch Housewives know Teresa because she was the one who flipped the
I was about to say
table.
she was flipping the tables, right? I remember she flipped the tables. Yeah.
So
Yeah, her
therefore,
daughter's just like her.
the old Teresa would have gone ballistic, wouldn't have invited her to the wedding, would have, just said, nope, you're not getting the
But
new
that
invite.
old
whatever.
Teresa ain't do no time, no.
Yeah, Teresa now has done some time. She's
yeah.
maybe humbled herself a little bit.
Maybe.
And from what I understand, this new guy she's with is good for her. Like, he's helping her to be like, look, don't fly off the handle. Like, let's talk through this. Let's
that's
go
good.
through
That's
and try
good.
to figure
They're
out how to
helpmates.
come. Yeah,
like
exactly. So from what I understand, like, even for this season of The Real Housewives that just started airing like in February, that there's a calmer, not as crazy flipping table, throwing food at people, and
a different Teresa.
Exactly. So that's what I have.
You know what they should do? They should definitely like have people go ahead and still come, and then they should have like if it was me, I'd be like I would still want the people to come there, and then once people show up, then it would be like a big projector that was like, hey guys, we went eloped, but look, enjoy yourself. The canapes are amazing. The charcuterie is awesome, and then shouting out people, thank you all for coming. We're on a disclosed location on vacation.
After you spend all that money and send people flowers with your invite, like a box of flowers, no, you gonna be there and you want everybody to see you in that dress.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I got to show off. Yeah,
you gotta
show off.
do it. You gotta do it. You gotta have the open bar.
God, that's so much money.
You gotta have the most amazing food, decorations out of this world.
Yeah.
And she's probably spending $1 million on this.
Well, when you're talking about the box and the picture, like the thing, I'm thinking like everything is like rose gold. I don't know why that's probably your wedding color.
I don't think so. I tried to find video of it, but everybody is trying to shut that down. So I couldn't find too much of it.
It's probably still on the internet.
Yeah, but all right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining us this week again for another episode of
Sestra-Tainment.
Thanks again, and y'all have a wonderful week. See you next week.
Bye.
On Sunday. Bye.